Hi guys, good morning. I'm here. My short sale negotiator's on the call. Her name is Ofelia. She's already closed several short sales for me this year, and she's been doing this for a very long time. Hi, everybody say hi
Hi,
to
good morning.
Ofelia.
Good
Hi,
morning.
good morning. Hey, Ofelia.
Morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
So she's actually got one of the short sales just approved, and right now I kind of want her to just give you guys basically an introduction really quick what a short sale is, so that you guys can have an idea, especially with this market right now, the way that it's kind of how things have been put to a halt, and how a lot of people are probably going to look that route, and we're still going to be able to collect commissions. Obviously, on a short sale, you get to collect 6% commission, and your negotiator gets paid her fee as well. So that doesn't come out of your pocket. It comes out of either the lender's pocket or the buyer's pocket. About 95% of the time, it comes out of the lender's pocket. Ofelia, give them a little bit of an update on kind of what a short sale is, so they could kind of have an idea, those that don't know, please.
Okay, basically a short sale is when the bank allows you to purchase a property for less than the amount that is owed. And basically that's it. It's a short sale. The buyer, the seller is 100% forgiven. He doesn't have to come in with any cash at closing. As a matter of fact, he cannot come in with any cash at closing. His debt is 100% forgiven. He will get, it will be satisfied, and he doesn't have to go, the bank will accept the amount that they approve for the short sale, the net amount that they approve, as payment in full, and the loan will be the mortgage will be satisfied, and the note will be canceled. Now, the thing with short sales now is that they're taking a little longer because most banks are working remotely, so it's difficult to get through. But I did successfully submit 8 short sales last week, believe it or not. It's a miracle from God, I swear. I wasn't expecting them to be, to happen. The banks are being a little bit, in these times, they're being a little bit more flexible with the amounts that they accept. As far as an offer, Miguel and I had just experienced something remarkable on a file that they were up to what, 255, Miguel?
I think 225, and then we got them down to 183.
The original was 235, 255, remember? And we did a dispute.
Yeah, it was
and then their dispute, and they still took his offer, which was what?
183.
$20,000 below their current market price.
Yeah.
So they are being flexible. Time frame, it is taking a little bit longer now because I have it's hard, it's difficult to get through sometimes to them. Sometimes I'm on the phone 2 hours, 4 hours waiting for someone to answer my phone call. As far as the short sale in a nutshell is, you need to list the property as an unapproved short sale. The property needs to be on the market for 5 days, including a weekend, before you can start to accept offers. I suggest that you list the property for current market value, what you estimate based on comps, but the market value of the property is, also based on the condition of the property. Each bank has their own short sale package. They have, basically most of them have their own short sale package. Basically, they want to see 30 days proof of income, 2 months bank statements, last 2 years tax returns, a hardship letter. And most of them want to see a current utility bill, because that is how they determine if they're offering the seller any relocation incentive, how they will get money to move out of the property. They're still offering it. I don't suggest that you confirm to any one of your sellers, oh, you're going to get it, because there's no guarantee that they're going to get it. But so far, the last 15 that I've done, they've allowed the seller something to move out of the property, $3,000, $4,000. It depends on who the bank is. One bank that's really, really, really good about it is PHH. They used to be
on the door,
and they've given up. In every single circumstance that I've had with them, they give the seller $10,000, which is unheard of, and which is unheard of. So basically, that's the situation with the short sale. You just have to list your property. Now, if you're, I don't know what type of short sale you're going to get. And I always tell my agents the following: before you overwhelm the seller with, oh, you have to fill out this package, oh, I need all this information, that you secure your listing, that you secure your listing, so that because without your listing, we have nothing. We can't do a short sale unless the seller agrees to list the property for sale.
Yeah, basically, guys, the listing agreement is kind of like the most important. Why? Because with the listing agreement, that kind of indicates to them that they're invested in it. Sometimes, as well, I've seen many times where agents want to get the contracts and everything all together, signed everything, the whole package. It's very important, to go in there like a regular listing, but obviously it's a short sale. So just go in with your listing agreement, your seller's disclosures, then all the other items all the other paperwork that you're going to need, you'll get it throughout that week or whatnot. Especially since you have to have the property on the market, like she said, for 5 days and a weekend. So you have ample time to get it together. Good thing that she touched base on is the bank statements and the paperwork. So what I'll do is I'll create a short list and I'll put it on the chat so that you guys can all be aware of what you guys are going to need. This is very important to a lot of us that sold houses in 2017, 2018, 2019, when the rates were like in the 4.5s, maybe some were kind of close to the 5s. And let's start getting in contact with those clients and touch base with them and see what they're, see how they're doing. You don't have to really talk about a short sale in per se, but just kind of get a feel for them and how they're doing with their, with their economic standpoint. Talk to them a little bit about how you're handling things and how you're still in real estate, and whatever questions and concerns they may have, you can help them. Ofelia, real quick, what are the steps after they submit the package and everything regarding getting the contract and everything? What is the next step regarding to turnaround time?
Once you've listed the property and you have an offer, then your buyer, if your buyer is an investor, if your buyer is an LLC, they'll need to provide an operating agreement. They'll need to provide proof of funds. If the buyer is a corporation, it's an Inc., it's not an LLC, then all I need I can get the articles of corporation from from Sunbiz. But if it's a corporation that happens to be an LLC, most banks want to see the operating agreement. And the reason that they want to see the operating agreement is very simple. It's because they want to make sure that it's an arm's length transaction. It's very, very important in short sales that neither the buyer, the seller, or any of the agents are related. So when they see an LLC where you don't disclose who are all the people that are members of the LLC, that's the reason that they ask for the operating agreement, to make sure it's an arm's length transaction. Another thing that I want to let you guys know, 95% of the time, the banks will not pay a transaction fee, $395, $295, whatever your broker charges for a transaction fee. On a short sale, whether it's paid by the buyer or the seller, it's considered additional commission. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. What I do is, for example, the seller can't pay it, but if you can get your buyer to pay for it, what I do is at closing, you tell the buyer, okay, it's on your contract. And sometimes they'll even ask you to remove it from the contract. Bring a separate check to the brokerage firm for the transaction fee. Most banks, okay, here's another thing. Here's another thing. If you're the listing agent, you cannot be the selling agent, because most of the time they'll cut your commission to 4%, even 3%. It depends on who they're servicing for. It's not like etched in stone, like, okay, PHH does this, SLS does this, SPS does this. No, it doesn't work like that. It depends who. Remember, these people are just servicers. You don't know who their investor is. You don't know who they're servicing their loan for. Oftentimes, they'll cut the commission to 5%. And that's why it's very important when you list your property that you put commissions to, up to third party approval to be split 50-50, because I can't, there are times where they'll cut the commission to 5%.
Yeah, and to touch in on that, guys, if you're working with a team, I know that I've done short sales with a few of you on this call. You could put your manager, you could put George, because that extra 1%, it goes a long way. If you're getting a $200,000 approval, that's $2,000 that could go back to you. And when we cross that bridge, we'll talk about it. But typically, it's not always. I see a lot of agents, they'll put 3 and 3%, and it's true what she's saying, because especially now that the approvals are going to come in a lot lower, we're going to have a lot room for negotiations regarding due to the market. But so it's important to move it, to put somebody else in there and get the full 6. That way and in reality, she's going to put, because when she prepares the pre-HUD to send it to the bank, she's got to put the commissions, she's got to put the relocation fee, she's got to put her fee, she's got to put the title fees. So then they give it a net to the bank, what the bank is going to net. And that sometimes they want to net, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 more. And the first thing they're going to cut is the commission. That's what the first thing they go after. So be
the first thing that they want to remove is commission.
Miguel, check the chat. Somebody put a message, Claudia. If you hit the chat thing, I'll show you the chat. And if anybody has questions, make sure to type it in the chat.
Okay,
Miguel,
let me see.
Read it out loud and then answer it, so that way it's recorded on the video.
Okay, let me see. Hold on. Where's the chat thing at, George?
It's in the bottom. It should be blinking of your screen.
Okay, perfect. Okay. What happens when you have a short sale for a long time and seller gets a summons for foreclosure? Does the bank call the attorney to let them know a short sale is in process and approved?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Some banks do and some banks don't. And this is another thing that's super important. That's a great question, Claudia. Most banks are adhering that you cannot submit a short sale package to them, even if you have a complete package, 37 days prior to foreclosure. I risk it sometimes and send it, and I try to get a hold of the bank and let them know. But there are banks like Mr. Cooper, they will not accept it. PHH, they will not accept a short sale if there's a foreclosure sale date within 37 days. So you cannot
and
submit
especially
it.
now guys, they extended it for 60 days to 90 days. So any list pendings, any foreclosures, they've been extended automatically 60 days. I think it was 30, and now they might extend it another 30 days. So it's a total of 60 days. Anything that was filed in January or February, you're probably going to have until May to do it. And if you go to the hearing, they'll probably extend it another 30 days. So we're going to have a lot of time to negotiate those, especially if you're locking them in now. I will have another question here. Yeah, it says you and Ofelia are working together. If we come across a short sale, can we use her services? Also, can you put together a list of paperwork needing and put it on LR Connect? I could put the list of the information that you're gonna need on the WhatsApp chat, and we'll send out an email with all the information regarding the docs. And yes, me and Ofelia are working together, and obviously me and her we'll talk about that. But moving forward, yeah, whatever you guys need, you can count on me, and her services are here as well.
Yeah, yeah, you guys can count on me. I do have a checklist that I sent out, and like I told you, each bank has their own package, and most of them have their own third party too, as well. Some of them have, most of them have their own third party. Most of them have their packages. It's not unison. And then there's certain banks. Mr. Cooper is one of them that they work with. They process their short sales, and so does Carrington. They process their short sales through Equator. And Bank of America, I don't like to call them Bank of America. I call them Bank of Abuse. They're the most difficult bank in the world to work with. They also use the Equator system, which basically means that, George, can set up an Equator account, and I'm sure he has one, through, you know, and then we can use that. We can use that system. That's the system that they use to process their short sales. I'm sure, George, you have an Equator account?
Yeah, who was it that Miguel that had the Bank of America shorts? Oh, I think Laura or something. Or somebody did or Maria Nieto set us up one. So I
Yeah,
believe
we
you
have an
have.
Equator account.
I'll
We
get us
have
that
an
info.
Equator account.
Huh?
We have an Equator
Yeah.
account.
We'll get that info.
Yeah, it's very important that you get an Equator account, because it sometimes it happens that it happens. And then when you have the Equator account set up, you give me your login information, and what I do is I log in and I put all emails to be CC'd to me. So I monitor the account. They'll just email you messages what's going on, but I don't expect you guys to do anything with it. I take care of it myself, because I'll log in and CC myself so that all emails are sent to me.
Yeah,
Okay. I
Equator,
have a
guys,
question.
is like total brokerage for short sales. That's a good one, Jose. Claudia, the attorney told the attorney told me the bank needs to call them, but it's difficult with the bank. It's Aquin Bank. With us, you're not gonna have to communicate anything.
Aquin is PHH.
Yeah, Aquin is PHH. When we're negotiating the short sale for you guys, you're not gonna have to talk to the bank. Ofelia will handle it, and we'll set it up where she's gonna be updating you guys and through email with the system. It says when is recommended. This is a question for Perrina Casino. It says, when is recommended a lawyer for this process? I know they could charge $5,000 for the whole process. Is it recommended? No, it's not recommended to use an attorney. Number one, attorneys are gonna add their fees. They're gonna obviously try to get the client into a modification program so that they could collect a monthly service, a monthly fee from their client. When in reality now, you know, there's not really no loan mods going on right now. So if an attorney's, you know, that's very important, because attorneys will draft up an invoice, tell them to get onto a payment plan. They could stop them, and what they're doing is just going to the courthouse and stopping sale dates. Basically, you could do that yourself. The seller could do that themselves, and this process of $5,000 is, you know, it's taking money out of their pocket, that especially in times of need right now. So it's very important to, you know, not hire an attorney unless, you know, an attorney is needed to stop the sale date, which now, like I said, with everything that's going on with the coronavirus, that, you know, you're gonna have time. All the courts are extending foreclosures and list pendants dates from 30 to 60 days, and you need only 37 days to get a short sale approved. So if you guys go to somebody right now that had a list pendant and they had a foreclosure date back in, let's say, March, that date has automatically extended itself to the end of April, and we can automatically start that process and submit the paperwork.
I have a question.
Okay.
My question is the Equator account. Do we need one account per person or just one account for lifestyle?
No, the office can do it.
Yeah.
The office. George's
The office.
account. Yeah.
And will
the
we
only
be
people
able
that-
to
the only
see?
people that see, I can't, unfortunately, I used to have an Equator account that I was able to use, but they changed it years ago, and the only person that can have an Equator account is either a realtor or an attorney. And, like, you know,
Yeah, you guys can
used to
have your own Equator account. So Hector, you can have your own Equator account. You can create it, go to Equator, set it up. Obviously, it's going to ask you some information. If it asks you anything in regards to the broker's license or the E&O policy or any of that information, we have it on the LRR Connect, or we could forward it to you.
Okay, can you repeat that because you broke up?
Okay, so the Equator account, you could set it up on your own. Every realtor could have their own Equator account.
Yeah,
Okay.
every realtor can have their own Equator account, but if George sets one up for the, you know, for lifestyle for the company, I can use that one. I prefer to just use one.
Right. Right. So that was my
Because-
question. And will everybody be able to see what's going on during the transaction period, or only one person will have access to what's going on?
Everybody will be, the only people that will be able to see what's going on during the transaction period through Equator is myself and you guys if you log in to the account. And obviously George, because all the Equator notices will go to him. But you can ask Miguel. I'm a pain in the you know what. I keep everybody abreast. Very rarely does an agent call me to ask me for status on anything.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Miguel knows that oh my God, hound him. Sometimes when I need something, I'm hounding him like 50,000 texts. I'm like, okay, Ofelia, leave me alone. I'm getting
Yeah,
to
me
it.
too. Me too. I've been told tú jodes mucho, but you know, that's how I get deals done for my clients.
Exactly.
I have a question. Going back, can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear
Going
you.
back on the short sale, I've had the short sale since it's already almost a year. I have an offer in, it's approved and everything. So the seller just received the summon packet and it says that they have 20 days. So now because of the situation, that means I have more time for that foreclosure summon not to proceed, or so it gives me time to see if I close on this deal and if the bank approves the offer that I have on file.
Who is the bank?
PHH. The first lien. The second lien is TIA, which they've already approved and given me the payoff and everything, accepting what PHH will pay them.
Okay, and is there a foreclosure sale date?
No, they just received the letter saying that we need to respond by mail, by a letter, to let them know what's going on with the file. If not, they'll go foreclosure, but there's not a sale date, not on the letter that I received.
Okay,
And
no,
then when I called the attorney, they said that the bank should call them so they can change the status of the file.
no, you're good. You're good because you're good.
Okay.
You're good. It's all they sent was a notice. They're going to schedule a hearing, and once they schedule the hearing, then they'll determine the foreclosure sale date. Now, let me ask you something. I'm not involved, obviously, in the short sale, but I do have a lot of experience with PHH. What value did they come in at?
They appraised value, they came in at 344, and now we've raised the offer that we have at 300. So we're hoping they'll accept that. It's still too low.
When was the value determined?
Couple months ago. They've already done 2 appraisals.
And each time the appraisal is done, it comes in higher?
Yeah, 344. Because the property does need some work as well. So not major work, but it does need some work, but they're just appraising it at 344.
Did you just try to accept their value, or did you try to dispute it?
Well, they haven't answered back based on the 300. So I'm just
How long
waiting
has
on
it
them
been
to see.
Is the buyer financed? Is the buyer financed or cash?
It's financed.
And they didn't accept that offer?
No. Well, because we had it lower before. No, not that they haven't accepted. They just haven't answered me. It's already been 3 weeks. So they were waiting on the payoff for the second lien, which I've already sent that. So I'm waiting on that. So they haven't given me an answer on the 300,000. But the problem is that they just take forever. They don't give me a counter offer. They just take forever to just say no or yes, and instead of giving me a counter offer.
And who are you handling the short sale yourself?
Yes.
And who are you talking to?
The bank, and it's the representative who comes online, and then they send all the information to all the messages to the investor with PHH.
Okay.
But I don't have like a direct contact.
Jot down this email.
Wait, I'm on a Zoom call. I'm gonna call you soon.
Okay.
Hold on, my friend. Hold on. Okay. Send an email. On the subject line, put your the account number, the account number and the name. Okay.
The what, I'm sorry?
The account number and then the seller's name.
Okay.
And send it to relationship manager at mortgagefamily.com.
Yeah, I've used that email as well.
Wait, okay. Then I have that's the best way to communicate with them now. Then I have an email for a supervisor there.
Okay.
I'm going to spell it to you because they're in India.
Yeah.
Okay. His name, it's R as in Robert, A as in Apple, N as in Nancy, V as in Victor, I as in Indian, R as in Robert, S as in Sam, I as in Indian, N as in Nancy. Hold on, somebody's trying to call me. Hold on. Are you there?
Mhm.
Did you hear me? I let
Yes,
you
I
at R, N as in Nancy, G as in good, H as in Harry, dot. So it's Rani Singh, whatever, dot, K as in kite, O as in Oscar, T as in Tom, G as in good, W as in wild, A as in apple, L as in love, at mortgagefamily.com. Ravir Singh Katawal at mortgagefamily.com. He is a senior specialist, collateral-based solutions. He is one of the supervisors. Like I had a file that I've been for 2 weeks waiting for them to order the BPO, and he just emailed me on Saturday. Ophi, this is the contact information. Have your agent call them and schedule your interior BPO.
Okay, perfect.
I'll
do that.
He's a good contact to have. And what if I were you, this is how I handle it when I'm in your situation. I email him. Hello, I need to know what's going on. I've submitted an offer, blah, blah, blah. What's the status of my offer? Okay, 48 hours later, resend. Every 48 hours, and he will answer you.
Okay, perfect.
You're welcome.
And also, when you submit that that offer, if they have, since it's a finance offer, I'm sure they inspection report. Submit your inspection report with that offer. Okay. Try to submit documentation proving the condition and stuff like that.
Here's the thing with inspection reports. Okay, on a short sale, there's a short sale addendum. The short sale addendum dictates deposits and dictates inspections. I work with a lot of agents. Most of my agents could care less about that addendum that says the effective date of the contract is the date that the short sale is approved, because they want to make sure they're working with bona fide buyers that are really interested. Because as you all know, as we can all know, short sales are very time consuming and are lengthy. They ask for a deposit up front. And some of them even want the buyers to do their inspections, because what if you don't like the property? And for the love of God, I never, ever, ever take an offer from someone unless they've seen the property, or in today's situation, have seen multiple pictures of the property. Like you can have your seller take pictures, you can have your seller take a video. You know, there's a lot of things you can still do to be able to list your property, do a virtual tour of your, a virtual thing of your property.
Yeah,
but make
guys,
sure
that's another
that the
thing
buyer
too.
is
Even
aware
for
of the
short sales.
condition of the property, then they've seen it. If they can't go to see it because we're not supposed to go anywhere, that at least they've seen multiple pictures and hopefully maybe a video of the property that the seller gave you, so they know what the property looks like.
Ofelia, can you repeat that email again? Because I had to take a call while you were giving out the email for Van Verzen or something in India.
Yeah, but that's for that particular servicer.
That's just for that particular servicer to help get out.
Right.
Yep. Ofelia, just text it to me, and I'll email, and I'll text it to Hector, and I'll put it on if anybody that's working with that servicer right now, because we don't want to go ahead and bombard that guy with emails and questions, and it only be particular to those short sales for that servicer.
This is only PHH, my friend.
PHH. Okay.
Yeah, for PHH.
I wonder, how can I take a picture of something and send it to you guys? Hold on.
You can take a picture on your phone, like a screenshot.
Okay, my love, how do I do that? Remember that yo soy una vieja, y no sé hacer cosas.
If you want, email it to Miguel. I'm gonna email it to Miguel, and then or text it to Miguel and have him.
Somebody just put it on there on the chat.
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. Claudia just did. Miguel, did you answer Jose Medina regarding do you do an inspection report and send it to the bank?
Yes, we do, and that's after we've already gotten the BPO. I mean, it all depends on where we're at, but typically, she likes to submit everything together. She likes to submit the contract, the inspection report or appraisal. That way she submits the whole
Not
package.
really, not really. I don't, I mean, this is, okay, this is a situation on a short
You
sale.
you
I
asked
had
me
to-
for it. You asked me for it in advance.
Wait a second, love. Let me explain to you why.
Okay.
I like to submit a complete package because, y especialmente ahora, guys, sometimes I can't get through. I'd rather have everything I know that they're going to need. Now, this is a situation. When I have an investor that's buying a property and I know that they're kind of sort of, you know, wanting to get a good deal, when the best chance, the best opportunity that we have to get a decent value is when the appraiser goes out to give them a contractor bid and have them look at it and review it at that time, so that way you get the value that hopefully you're looking for. Like if you know the property realistically is worth 200, but you're going to send in a lowball offer at 150, when the appraiser goes out there, you know that the appraiser probably is going to come in at 200. So here's a contractor bid. Here's the repairs the property needs, and then then you have a better chance of the actual appraiser or BPO agent making the adjustments to the value to coincide with your offer. That's why I ask for it, because you're an investor. When I have a regular buyer, an end buyer that is subject to financing, I don't generally ask for them to do that, because the odds are that they're paying market value for the property. In investor situations, the investor needs to get a deal to be able to, to flip it, sell it, make money on it. The best chance we have is to present it to the appraiser, because cuando tú vas al banco, Miguel, in our other short sale, the bank, I made you go out there, jump through hoops, get me the inspection. Did the appraiser, that appraiser was a jerk. He was a jerk because he didn't make one adjustment for condition. Yeah. And you saw it. He didn't make one adjustment for value.
He was
a jerk, and that happens. And there's no guarantee that's not going to happen. Now we're value disputing with one of the most difficult banks to dispute value with, which is Shell Point. But
we've had good success. I've had really good success, especially, last year. I think we're going to have even better success right now with these negotiations and these disputes. Number one, like I said, everything that happened with the coronavirus. So we're going to be able to dispute that the values and the market got stagnant, and the demand, it's not there anymore. So that kind of like, slightly decreases. I have an inspection today, and just to be on a traditional buyer, we went, there was a video of the property, and the guy liked the house. An FHA buyer, we're under contract, and we're doing inspections today. So the market is still moving, and there's sellers listing a bunch of, I see a lot of you realtors, working with sellers and putting up listings. So, we just have to transition over now a little bit more to kind of like web-based. But with these disputes and these values, we're going to be successful in coming into a lower number because of what's going on right now. And in reality, it's going to help for the cash buyers and the investors. It's going to benefit us. And even for traditional buyers too, that are looking for a short sale and get it under, under market value. You'll be able to get a property a good 15-20% if it's a short sale below market value. So that's important to know.
Anybody have any other questions? And so far, honestly, every time we go through this training and thank God Ophelia's on it, because last time we had her on the phone. But these things are awesome. And guys, honestly, the wave, I'm always optimist, but this may be, maybe you did one short sale in the last 2 or 3 years. I think this next year you could probably do 5. So the more you know, the better it is for you. So make sure, you're ready for it.
And follow up, like I said, follow up with your clientele of all your traditional sales for the last 5 years, because you obviously don't know what situation they're in. Obviously, the whole country's in a certain type of situation, but you could, be that person they can trust in. Like, when they went to go buy or sell their house. So be that, that information hub for them, and let them know what you could offer them, because a lot of these people maybe, they, might be jobless. It's unfortunate to say that. I hate to talk about the negatives, but they might be jobless, and they might have to relocate. They might have pulled a mortgage for a property they couldn't afford back then, and now, you could help them out of the situation, get them some relocation money. And this is going to be upcoming for the next, 3 to 6 months. We're going to see that. So be on top of that. It's very important to be on top of that and following up right now, because once you're following up, like I said, you're going to be that hub of resources for them in regards to a modification, a short sale, relocation, all that stuff.
Miguel,
Somebody's asking a
oh, go
question.
ahead.
Where's the best place to find short sales? The best place to find a short sale is to go through the docket, to go through the Dade County docket and see. I don't know, and I don't know how people find short sales, to be honest with you.
Look, there's a thing called the Red X. Okay, it's about $120, $130 a month, and this Red X gives you geo leads, gives you for sale by owners, gives you pre-foreclosures. Obviously, there is no pre-foreclosure filing, so they're not going to be giving, but they are going to have prior ones for the last 4 to 5 months, where if those did not sell on the auction, you can follow up with those individuals, because once we come out of this situation, the courts are going to reopen, and the filings are going to be refiled. There's going to be a time frame which is going to allow us to negotiate it and get it approved, because we only need 37 days. So it's very important to take advantage of this time right now, even if it's a traditional short sale or in a short sale for an investment purposes. But there's going to be a lot of opportunities. They say something, and it's those people that, in these situations, they take advantage of the opportunity. I was in the market in 2007 and 2008. I got REO certified. I got approved with the banks, and I was doing, 50 appraisals a month. And that benefited me so much, because a lot of the people I worked with that didn't go that route, they were, they weren't working. They left real estate. And then a lot of appraisers that did stay on, that got REO certified, short sale certified, they maintained, and they were still in business until the market picked back up a few years later. It's a quick turnaround, and we're gonna have a quicker turnaround than we did back in 07 and 08, because it was about to 2009, 2010 where the market did turn back around. I think here it's gonna be a 6 month to 12 month, but it's not gonna be nothing crazy where you're gonna see those significant drops in prices, guys. Okay.
I agree. I agree with that assessment. And we do have in the offices for now. I don't know if I don't know if anybody's using them right now. So if they don't use it, maybe I think it's one of those things that we'll cut. But we do have in Pines, Miami Lakes, and West Gables. And I don't know if Kendall does. We do have the Vortex or Red X. Maybe what we'll do, Miguel, is what we did before, is email like the list every day kind of thing to see who uses it.
We could do something like that, but the docket, like Ofelia said, just check
Okay,
the docket.
okay. I'm going to tell you guys a trick. I'm going to show everybody a trick. Everybody here, I hope, has the MLS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You go to the MLS, right? And you log into IMAP. If everybody's in front of their computer, I would love for you guys to do this right now. Log into the MLS, go on to IMAP. Oh, let me get out of chat. I wish that I knew how to take pictures here, you guys. I really do.
Are you talking about the little gavels?
Yeah, you see? Okay, let me see.
Yeah.
You see here? Can you see it? You see there where I'm in? South Florida, MLS, IMAP, search tax resources, or MLS. You see there's one that says tax search, MLS search, and you see where it says foreclosure search? If you click on foreclosure search, I've done this so many times. I've taught people how to do this so many times. Okay, let me see. I want to make sure you guys can see it. Okay, so then I'm going to look for either judgment, sale date, loan amount. Let me see. Case number, parcel ID, property address. Okay, there was one, can you guys see it or am I moving? Okay, hold on.
Yeah, we can see it just fine.
Okay, I'm gonna do zip code. I'm just gonna use 33165. You know, they have to be, oh yay. There you go. Do you see that? Right there, you have a list of all properties that have list pendants, that have been served a list pendants in zip code 33165. There is an icon in here where it gives you sale date, owner's name, property address. There was one, I can't see it right now. And this is absolutely free. Filing date, judgment amount, loan amount, subdivision, property address. Case number. No. Okay. Sorry. You see where it says, you see where I click in the drop down box? There should be here plaintiff. You see where it says plaintiff? Now watch me put in PHH. Okay, no.
You could just go to judgment filing date and go back to no more than you can go to judgment filing date and go back to no more than the last 90 days. And it's going to give you all the judgment filing dates from the last 90 days till on, and you can go back and call those. There's also a system that's called BIN Verified. It's called BIN Verified, BEEN verified.com. What you're going to do is you're going to put the address or the person's name, and it's going to give you their phone number. It's going to give you their six best numbers, and you can call them. Once you get the information from IMAP, just go back to the judgment date. You could do last 6 months. You can do 90 days. Try not to go back a year because a lot of those have gone to auction and have already sold. But basically,
I mean, it's a little time consuming, but we all have time on our hands now. So like, focus your time now on doing things that are going to help you and prosper you for the future. That's what I would do. But
I do have a question.
yeah.
How does this conform to not being able to not like if somebody has that, not that do not disturb, but do not solicit? How does this
BIN Verified?
Right, but if you're using BIN, I have a BIN Verified account, but if I'm using BIN Verified and I'm calling them to say, hey, I know that you may be having some problems and I wanted to help you move your property or sell your property or get from under it. How does that implicate us as realtors with the issue of contacting them if they're part of the do not call list?
No, because on BIN Verified, when you go, it'll tell you that they're on the do not call list. It comes it up, it scans it for you. But never ask them that you could help them out of their situation. Talk to them more on because people don't want to talk about their situation unless you know them. So it's always important not to go and touch in based on their situation, but talk about what you could provide to them. Hey, by the way, my name's Hector. I work with Lifestyle International Realty. I have an in-house short tail team, or also we could help you possibly and get you in contact with somebody to help you with a modification if that's pertaining. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, just basically your whole pitch of who you are and what services you offer. Then when you go and touch base, with them, it's always important to kind of like, especially now, you can't really go in and tackle the appointment because I would always go within the first 60 seconds to schedule the appointment. But now it's more to kind of get familiar with who they are and get familiar with who you are and what services you provide.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys, any more questions?
Yes.
Thank you, Ofelia. Ofelia, I put this on Instagram and a bunch of people were messaging me like, oh my God, Ofelia is the shit with the short sales. I got a bunch of DMs because I put you on there. But Miguel, thank you again also, man, for setting this up. Everyone who joined. I can't believe Miguel beat me with 59 participants that joined.
Yes, we can.
Miguel is the bomb.
We could
Miguel
do a
is the
short sale for a reverse
bomb.com.
mortgage. Yes, we
Oh,
can.
we'll do reverse mortgages. Also, thanks, for all our guests. Jennifer Abreu was on here. Matt that came in to support, and Chris Negron who could help you with the with credit repair. Guys, just thank you all that are on here. I'm gonna save this and record it if you guys need to see it, and I'll put in our partners in there. Miguel's contact info, and let's rock and roll. And also, if you anything, and I'll send it to you, Ofelia, so you have a copy. But thanks for all that joined. Have an awesome day. Let's rock and roll.
All right, guys.
All right.